Quickly, go ahead.
Excellent. Good morning, councillors. Volunteers from our HousingNowTO.com Civic Tech and Open Data project have closely followed the rapid approval and delivery of the first 2 modular housing sites on your city-owned lands. We congratulate the city on delivering these sites within 8 months of their original proposal, providing a total of 100 units of new supportive housing in existing stable neighborhood zoned areas by using the appropriate use of minister's zoning orders. We look forward to seeing the same speed and scale of delivery of the 2 modular housing sites that are now proposed at CUMMER and Trenton. Many of our volunteers are East Enders who live in Councillor Bradford's ward. We also support Out of the Cold and similar programs on the Danforth. We've seen the ugly and the paranoid language that is being used in some of the East York discussion groups when they're discussing supportive housing at the site at Trenton and Cedarvale. The fear-mongering you can clearly see in the comments on the change.org petition that Charlotte Jenkins submitted to your committee. And frankly, they're as wrong as they are unsurprising. It's the same kind of language that we have seen from local residents on both the previous modular housing sites in 2020 and every time a new Out of the Cold program tried to establish itself in a new church over the last 20+ years. The City of Toronto has a target of creating 18,000 new supportive housing units by 2030. We literally need to be creating 2,000 new units like these modular housing sites every single year for the next decade. There's simply no way to deliver on the city's affordable housing targets that won't upset people in every neighborhood. This is a time that's going to call for your political leadership to repeatedly do the right thing despite local protests. Our volunteers fully support the use of MZOs on all of the city's modular housing and Housing Now sites, as they are the only way to avoid many residents' associations in the city abusing the process to drag out the approval of new affordable housing for an additional 2 to 3 years on every site. All they need to do is file a TLAB appeal, which is what they were going to do on the 90 Mill Street site for your Open Doors program. We would also suggest that it is now time for the neighbours around the Trenton site to do a little bit of soul searching. And in fact, for all Torontonians to do it. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary of the COVID-19 lockdowns in Toronto. As neighbours, we know there are already homeless encampments in East York, including ones that are in the parks and ravines near the proposed site on Trenton. The choice for the Stan Wadlow neighborhood groups is not, do we want people who need supportive housing in our neighborhood? The choice before you today is, would you rather those people be out of sight in a tent in your local ravine or in a safe and supportive permanent housing on this dumb-free parking lot? Our volunteers are always happy to share open and accurate data on affordable housing with any city councillor or community that requires it, or to help ensure the ongoing success in meeting the City of Toronto's 2030 housing targets. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions of the Speaker? Councillor Brown.